Hi, my name is Logan Riley Bruner. I'm 23 years old, and today is the 10th of August, 2020. As of today, I have 1,182 followers on Instagram. My most liked photo on Instagram is the announcement that I was going to be in season 3 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon. It currently has 235 likes. I am one of the co-founders of Blackwolves Productions. I co-founded it with Jacob Wade back in, I want to say 2014. We added Jeremy around 2015, 2016, because we'd all gone to high school together, and it was just kind of a natural fit. But yeah, I'm one of the people that started this little collective of artists. To me, Black Wolves is a group of artists that are coming together to create art that we don't see in the world, art that we think should be showcased. It's a community of actors, writers, directors, all trying to come together to create art, tell stories. I started to feel like in this really interconnected world that we were losing some of our connectivity to each other. And so making Black Wolves both a production company and a collective was kind of a way to meld those two together. It was a way for us to continue to create and sponsor other artists, but also for us to kind of make our circle tight and feel like we were actually continuing to work with the same people that we liked working with. I think my favorite memory with Black Wolves is we were doing this show in 2018 called DNA, and we didn't get to put it up for a myriad of reasons, but it was the first show that we went like full out on our marketing. We had the entire cast create like Facebook pages as their characters, and we made a bunch of transmedia art to go with it. And I think that was the first time that I ever realized that theater or performance could go beyond just the stage. And I think that really thrilled me as an artist to realize that like you can create an entire world before an audience even walks into a space. And so I think that's my favorite memory with Black Wolves. The first time I realized that like it doesn't just have to be the show, it can be an entire world. I think my favorite moment in my career is doing Vox Lux. It was my first major feature film. I had done one before that. That was an indie film with a director and writer who I really respect named Mattson Tomlin. That was my first feature. But Vox Lux was really my first time that I was going to be in theaters. And it was one of the hardest roles in my career. I had to play a school shooter. And so that was both the best moment of my career and the hardest because I got to play somebody that really had a lot of darkness in them and try and find their humanity. And so it was difficult, but it was also super rewarding to see audience reaction and just get to see it all on the big screen as this project that I had gotten to be a part of. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I feel like blue's not specific enough, but blue, it's always kind of been my favorite color. I'm leaning toward darker blue right now just because it's kind of a somber season. But there's also just that blue of like a cloudless sky that just like does something to me. So it's kind of a draw between the two. All the time. I feel pressure like I'm not doing enough. I feel pressure like we're going to run out of time before deadlines hit. Pressure is constantly on my shoulders. I've started meditating a lot to try and take some of it off because I realized that anxiety 24/7 is not a good idea. People who don't take the work they're doing seriously, people who don't care, people who are apathetic, both in terms of artistry and in terms of just worldview, and unpreparedness. When I show up ready to do a job, I expect everyone else to be ready to do that same job. And so when people throw me off my rhythm or throw a production off its rhythm by not being prepared, it's insanely degrading to the work that everyone else is trying to do. So it kind of drives me nuts. Enjoy every moment. I feel like there have been a lot of times, especially since a year ago, I was just graduating from college. I was in such a rush to get out and get into the real world that I just kind of sped my own life away. And so I think I'd tell a year ago me to like really appreciate everything that you get to experience. I got to do one of the best shows of my career this year. I think don't rush, slow down, appreciate all the moments you have. Raffi Cassidy and Tony Shalhoub on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who is just an absolute legend in my eyes. First name that comes to my head is Edgar Wright. I think he's a brilliant director. I think the way he does transitions and shots is just incredible. His characters are always interesting and fun. I'd love to get to be a part of one of his movies. Wow, that's hard. I feel like there's so many artists that I respect and love that I can't be like, this one right here, that's my favorite. John Boyega and Viola Davis, and directors getting new roles and new films coming out, new music coming out, people like Billie Eilish. And it's just, there's too many artists for me to like name that I could just name for an hour to actually come up with a favorite. So I think there's a lot of people in this field that have been kind of convinced that it just takes one big break and you're there. And so if you drop like $10,000 to work with some coach, that they're gonna instantly make you a superstar. I've been doing this for 12 years and I still haven't had what people would consider like my big break. So I'd say keep working, take everything day by day. Don't let anybody trick you into thinking that they have this magical answer that's going to get you work, because they don't. People have knowledge, people have resources, people have connections, but no one has the magic golden egg that's going to put you in Hollywood. A lot of times it's just the right place at the right time. I would love to see more POC writers and directors. I think there's been a push for more POC representation on stage and on screen, but I wish that there was more behind the camera. I think that's how we end up with more interesting, more dynamic, more complex stories, is by letting people tell complex stories and stories that really speak to their hearts. So I think the arts world really needs to shift in a direction of letting everyone tell their stories rather than just letting white men kind of run the whole thing. Instagram and recently Robinhood. I got really into stocks during the pandemic because it was really the only way to keep my mind kind of active in terms of like economics. And I was always kind of interested in economics. So those are really the two right now. I think anxiety about the future, anxiety about my place and everything, anxiety about what I'm supposed to do with my life. Turning 23 in the middle of a pandemic where I can't work, can't meet new people, and can't go anywhere definitely put me in a little bit of a quarter life crisis. But I think that's the thing that I'm kind of working through right now, is how to take every day and make it mean something, even when I don't have these big goals that I can like charge toward, you know? Make a fuck ton of art. I've got movies that I want to see made, that I've written, that friends have written, plays that I'd love to do. There's so much art that I wish I could produce, not only for myself and Blackwolves, but for people that I really feel like are incredible artists who just haven't really gotten a break. So I just create a lot of art. Then again, there's also the whole could solve world hunger thing. So that would probably actually end up taking priority, as much as I miss out on all the amazing things that I want to do. I feel like all those things are just ways to tell stories in order to make the world a better place, and to actually make the world a better place would be a better use of the money. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my life for a few minutes. My Instagram is at Logan Riley Bruner. So follow me there if you would like more of my day-to-day shenanigans. And you will be seeing more of me and Black Wolves very, very soon. Talk to you later.